Happening now, an arrest has been made in connection to Sunday's arson fire here in Jamestown. Plus, we learn more about the possibility of installing surveillance cameras in area parks.
Well, it's going to be another day of rain. Big surprise there, but there could be some stronger weather later in the afternoon. We'll talk about it in detail next as the News at Noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Police have made an arrest in connection with a fire at a condemned Jamestown property on Sunday. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. The Jamestown Police Department says 31-year-old Robert Yates was charged with third-degree arson, burglary, and trespass this morning. Firefighters were first called to 130 Water Street around 3:30 Sunday for smoke coming from inside the structure. Crews tell us that the blaze likely started in the basement and then was easily extinguished. They say the house, which was condemned, was not to be occupied following a previous fire there. Well, police detectives say they used information and video from a neighboring residence to aid in their investigation. Yates was taken into custody early this morning, and officers report he is currently in Jamestown City Jail, awaiting arraignment. Well, an up to $2,500 reward is now offered for information leading to the arrest of those responsible for stealing a statue here in Jamestown. Crime Stoppers WNY announced the new incentive yesterday for information surrounding the Underground Railroad sculpture theft. Now, part of the Underground Railroad tableau exhibit, the copper statue was stolen from Dow Park back on May 10th. The statue, officials say, is worth up to $2,000. Those with information are asked to call 716-867-6161, or you can submit a tip by downloading the free Crime Stoppers mobile app. Just search Buffalo Tips from the Android or Apple Store. Well, last night, those on Jamestown City Council discussed ways to prevent crimes in city parks following the theft of that statue and then the vandalism of two similar statues at Dow Park. Several lawmakers and community members alike want to see surveillance cameras go up to protect the park and its features. As WNY News Now's Mario Cosentino reports, some in that lawmaking group have concerns with the rollout process.
A Jamestown City Councilman is speaking out about his concerns with installing security cameras at city parks. The idea rose to the forefront following the theft of an Underground Railroad statue in May and the defacing of two statues in Dow Park last week. Now the City Council is looking to install security cameras at the park to prevent future incidents from happening again. Councilman at Large Jeff Russell agrees with the idea, however, but disagrees with how the city is going about this process.
So going forward, if we're having issues in areas, I would like to see people work more closely with the chief of police and maybe put these cameras up and not necessarily telling people that we're putting the cameras up. That defeats the purpose.
He went on to say that while this helps deter crime, it is not as helpful in finding perpetrators like those involved in the incidents at Dow Park who are still at large. In the end, those in the city like Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist want something to be done.
I said before, and I'll say again, what that was a hate crime. And this is something that we do not accept and do not allow in the city of Jamestown. We want to make it very clear to people that we will try to find the people who did this, who perpetrated it, and bring them under charges to the fullest extent of the law.
Sundquist also says that cameras are just one step of the solution, along with lighting and landscaping.
We're not talking about just cameras, although that was the discussion tonight. We've already talked to the Parks Department about making sure that certain bushes are cut back, that certain features of the park are done so that it deters any type of issue.
The cost of installing and maintaining the cameras is still unknown, but park manager Dan Stone told the council that he's working on getting those numbers and talking with some nonprofits to secure additional funding. Mario Cosentino, WNY News Now.
Mario, thank you. A Chautauqua County School District is being sued by a former student under the Child Victims Act. As first reported by WRFA, the suit was filed last week against Panama Central School in Chautauqua County Supreme Court. Now, court documents explain that an unnamed former female student was sexually abused at the school and at other locations by another student multiple times between 1992 and 1997. The suit claims that the school district failed to keep that student safe, even after Busti police recommended something should be done to separate the two. The victim, who is now an adult, is seeking compensation and punitive damages. The law firm Phyllis and Pacellia in New York City is representing that former student. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments section down below, or simply send us a wave. We always love to hear from you. It's great to see Seth, good to see David, Connie, Wendy, Wallace, and Linda as well. Hopefully you all are having a wonderful day out there. Well, now let's get a check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with that. Hey, Dakota.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. And man, you know, it's kind of interesting when you think about how much rain we've had, and yeah, it's not going away anytime soon. Cloudy skies over Findlay Lake right now. 75 is the current temperature, but there's an icky dew point of 71, and that's going to be a main driving factor of the rain today with the high amounts of humidity that we have in the area. Right now, nothing going on across the area right now. We've had a few rain showers that kind of moved through this morning. Those have all cleared out of the area, but there's more development. If you peek back to the west, there's more development across Michigan, and part of this is going to be moving our way along with the high amounts of humidity. We're likely going to see showers and thunderstorms redeveloping again through the afternoon hours once again. And the temperatures have just kind of flopped down from 80 down to 70 last Thursday, and it's been kind of a slow climb upward. 77 was the official high at the Jamestown airport yesterday. We started the day at 67, 96, and 39 are the record highs and lows for this day. So through the afternoon today, mostly cloudy. Showers and thunderstorms will develop. The main timing for some strong activity, there is a slight risk defined for much of the region. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. 2 to 8 o'clock will be the main time frame for at least some of the strongest activity, and it's going to be very humid today. 77 at the Lake Erie water to 84 well inland with a southwest wind. Now we will get one day of mainly dry weather, and then, yeah, more rain. We'll talk about it in a few, Justin.
Oh, just one day. I mean, better than no days, right?
I guess that's true.
That's true. A half glass full kind of mentality, Dakota. We'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. Well, many parents are wondering if their kids will have to show proof of COVID-19 vaccination to attend school in the fall. Well, for several states, that answer is no. At least 7 states have enacted legislation that will specifically forbid public schools from requiring vaccinations. Most states have introduced general legislation that limits requiring people to demonstrate COVID-19. In many instances, if those laws pass, they will likely apply to schools as well. The different approaches taken by states are leaving many parents with questions. For example, in most cases where COVID vaccinations cannot be required, vaccines for diseases like measles and polio are still mandated. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is not taking a solid stance on vaccine requirements in schools, by the way. The agency only urges schools to promote vaccination. Well, a link between a rare neurological complication and the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine is now being investigated by federal health officials. John Lawrence with more from those officials who say the link is not clear if the vaccine causes this neurological complication, but noted there have been an uptick in reports.
The CDC and FDA have launched an investigation into a potential link between the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine and rare cases of a neurological complication known as Guillain-Barré syndrome that can lead to muscle weakness and possible paralysis.
So for them to announce this investigation, it means that they think that there's a plausible link. It shows once again how carefully we take the safety of vaccines in this country.
The FDA has updated the label for the vaccine to say there may be an increased risk of Guillain-Barré syndrome in people who recently got the Johnson & Johnson shot. But the CDC stresses even if the vaccine does raise the risk of the syndrome, it's still better to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Vaccine maker Johnson & Johnson confirms it is reporting any information on adverse effects linked to its COVID-19 vaccine to health authorities, saying in a statement, "We strongly support raising awareness of the signs and symptoms of rare events to ensure they can be quickly identified and effectively treated. The chance of having this occur is very low, and the rate of reported cases exceeds the background rate by a small degree."
Even if it ends up being real, It's still fewer than 1 in a million vaccine doses that end up with this syndrome. And there are around 3,000 to 5,000 people that get Guillain-Barré syndrome every year with or without vaccines.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. Coming up, what a Jamestown man is facing up to life in prison for. And later, how Wegmans is working its way back to some pre-COVID norms. Stay with us as WNY News Now rolls along.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Located along the Amish Trail, the Randolph Retail Company offers a variety of clothing, jewelry, and gifts for any occasion. Offering uptown merchandise at small-town prices, our locally owned business balances quality and value. With complimentary gift wrap here at the Randolph Retail Company, we pride ourselves in personal service. Check out our Facebook page or stop in today at 127 Main Street, Randolph, just a 20-minute drive from Jamestown.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Have the best summer ever with endless adventures at Girl Scout Summer Camp. Financial aid available, open to all girls. For more information, call or go to gswny.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A 35-year-old Jamestown man has pled guilty to crimes against children. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Buffalo says that Richard LaFrance entered the plea into incitement of a minor yesterday. Prosecutors say that back in 2019, LaFrance met with a 14-year-old and started chatting with them via email and text messages. The communications between the two, they further, was sexually explicit, with LaFrance requesting naked pictures of the teen. In addition, investigators say that LaFrance met up with the victim at least 2 times and engaged in sexual intercourse with them. The charge carries a minimum penalty of 10 years in prison, a max of life, and a $250,000 fine. He's scheduled to be sentenced in that case coming up in November. Well, Wegmans is working to bring back its food bars. A month ago, Wegmans Food Market showed no signs of planning of bringing them back, the hot and cold food bars. Well, last year they were forced to close them down due to the pandemic. The change comes after a recent relaxed rule surrounding self-serve buffets. According to our media partner, the Star-Gazette, food bars can now run normally in New York State as long as there is an employee observing them. A Wegmans near Rochester reopened their hot food bar last week. The move is expected to roll out at other locations in coming weeks. No specifics when it could come to our West Ellicott location, though. Well, July is Fibroid Awareness Month, and there's a renewed push to break the stigma that may come the sometimes debilitating condition, to get more women to check for symptoms and seek medical care. As Mandy Gaither reports in today's Health Minute, Black women are disproportionately impacted by this condition.
Breaking the stigma around fibroids and the heavy periods and pain that may come with them. It's one step Dr. Jennifer Cottle says is necessary to raise awareness and get more women diagnosed and treated for the condition.
We have to understand that fibroids oftentimes run in families. There is often a genetic link, and many family members sometimes have fibroids. So the symptoms of fibroids sometimes might actually seem normal to a woman.
Fibroids are non-cancerous growths that develop in or around the uterus. Some of the symptoms include frequent urination, heavy and painful periods, stomach ache, and pain during sex. The growths have different effects on women, so Dr. Cottle says women must be their own advocates to protect their health.
If fibroids are numerous enough and large enough, can actually have an enlarged uterus or abdomen. Also, women with fibroids might experience miscarriages or infertility as well.
Although any woman of reproductive age can develop fibroids, a report by the National Center for Biotechnology Information found Black women are 3 times more likely to develop fibroids than white women.
They do also tend to occur at a younger age in African American women, and also they tend to grow more quickly in African American women.
Dr. Cottle says too many women suffer in silence, making it hard to break the stigma, and recommends that women speak to family, friends, and doctors to break the cycle.
Anything that is going on with your body is important to talk about. You're worth it.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. Now, Dr. Claudel says more research is needed to learn the exact cause of fibroids, but they have been linked to hormones like estrogen and progesterone. Well, potato lovers rejoice. Today we celebrate the fast food favorite, French fries. It's National French Fry Day, which recognizes the all-American staple that you can find on menus across the country. Whether you like that classic curl or crinkle cut, fries are a favorite for all ages. Now, did you know the expression French fried potatoes first dates back to 1856? It's believed that by some time the term French was introduced to potatoes when American soldiers got to Belgium during World War I and then tasted Belgian fries. Well, French was the official language of the Belgian army at that time, so the term French fries was born. So go ahead and use today as an excuse to indulge in that salty, fatty favorite Americans have grown to love. If you couldn't tell, Dakota, we love French fries here at WNY.
I love my French fries. I don't know about you, but woo,
something
baby.
About that. It's just, you can't go wrong. My question is, where do you think the best French fries are? That's a hard question. There's a lot of places. You know, I really like Davidson's fries. I really do.
Those are really good.
Those are some of the best. They're crinkle cut, right? I think those are some of the best ones.
I mean, there are days where, there are days where I feel like McDonald's fries.
Yeah.
Sometimes
with the right mood,
yeah,
you can definitely
Arby's
get to
fries
some
though. Those are really, really good.
Those are.
I love Arby's fries
with a little bit of cheese. Oh gosh.
Oh.
Give me heart
loaded
palpitations.
Fries. Oh.
Good to see Willie, Donald, and Julia. Let us know what you guys think about these stories in the comments down below. What's your favorite fry? We want to know. Do you not eat fries because your doctor says no more? Is
who
that
cares?
a thing? I don't know. Oh boy.
My doctor tells me I'm not supposed to eat pasta. I'm Italian.
How can you
I can't help it.
How can you not eat pasta?
Yeah, Mario's in the studio here, and he's like,
He's
what?
like, I don't believe it. You love pasta, right, Mario?
Of course.
Of course you do.
Yes.
Why don't you? All right. Let's see. Johnny's Texas fries. Those are pretty good too, Wendy. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Well, let's switch gears. Let's move on from French fries. Talk about a little bit of French weather. Can you do the weather in
French
French?
weather in our future, but
No.
it's been a very wet weather. I don't know how to tie it into fries. Let's just take the graphics. I don't know.
How do you
Anyway,
transition from that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
It's
how
a
to tie
salty
it in. I
forecast,
don't know.
Dakota.
I don't know.
pretty good.
7.55 inches of rain since the beginning of the month. And we're not even halfway through the month, people. And that is a surplus of 5.69 inches. And as we run right now, if July were to end today, it would be the 5th rainiest July on record, dating all the way back to 1895. And again, the rainiest July ever was in 1902, where we had 9.12 inches. So it's just incredible how much rain we've had, and more of it's on the way. 65% chance in area today, 60 tomorrow. Thursday, a dry day. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to do with myself. And then as we go into Friday and Saturday, more rain will be coming our way, as is the case. That pattern just doesn't want to break. HD News Now cam shows you a few of those cloud breaks actually downtown right now. We're currently sitting at 76 with overcast skies at the airport. South wind of 13, wind gust of 23. There's that dew point of 69, makes it feel more like 77. And that high dew point is going to be the factor of this. There is a standard slight rift. That's all this yellow shade. That is a 2 out of a scale of 1 to 5. That's a 2 with a low end marginal risk for portions of Erie and Crawford County, Pennsylvania. And the main threats here is mainly going to be strong winds, heavy rainfall, and lightning. There is a low chance of a small spin up tornado. The threat's not 0, but it's not high either. It's a small chance. It's something we're going to keep an eye on. But the main factor with this is going to be the early dryness that we had this morning. How much unstableness is there going to be in the atmosphere to allow these thunderstorms to not only form, but also become severe? That's something we're going to watch through the afternoon hours today. First Defense Doppler returning mainly dry sweeps across western New York, but there's a development back to our west. This is all part of a boundary that's moving on through warm air, surging in from the south, colder air trying to come in from the south, from the north. It's a stationary boundary. The boundary is not going anywhere, along with a low pressure area back over Michigan. That, along with the humidity, is fueling our storms. So let's show you future scan. High resolution computer modeling shows you those showers and thunderstorms flaring up through the afternoon. And the main timing on this is mainly going to be 2 o'clock this afternoon to about 8 o'clock this evening. That looks like the main timing frame for at least some of the strongest activity. That starts to move on out for the overnight hours, and then tomorrow, a repeat. Scattered showers and thunderstorms pop up. Oh, what a surprise. Showers and thunderstorms pop up through the afternoon tomorrow. We don't expect any severe weather out of this tomorrow. But again, you know how these work. They're going to pop up at random times through the afternoon. And then by the time we go into Thursday, oh, look at this. Not a speck of rain to be found on this map. And it should be partly to mostly sunny. Now, here is our storm potential product, which is a product that we have on Future Scan that tries to show you where the better chance for thunderstorm development will be. And you'll notice all of this red shade here. We've got more than enough atmospheric juice to allow basically allow these thunderstorms to form this afternoon, and then the overall atmospheric conditions weaken off as we go into the overnight hours. So let's show you the zone forecast for the inland areas today. Likely lower 80s for most areas. Warren, you may top out at 82, Randolph at 81, and some of those storms in the afternoon could be on the stronger side, so watch out for that. The next 7 days of your wonderful life are on the screen. 77 tomorrow, 82 on Thursday. What? A dry day? Yeah. And then, Friday, just more rain, more scattered storms on Saturday. It looks like the second half of the weekend into early next week is trending on the drier side, but we do have a small chance for a isolated shower or storm in there on Sunday. We'll take a break. Be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind: to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
but there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
The village of Faulkner's first historical marker was dedicated in honor of famous ball player Hugh Bedient yesterday. WNY News Now's Julia Gress with more on his story and the legacy left behind. Hey, Julia.
Hey Justin, a member of the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, Bedient started his career pitching for Faulkner High School, then went on to play for the Boston Red Sox from 1912 to 1914.
The community, including the mayor, president of the Hall of Fame, and Bedient's own family, came together at the Mosher Street ball field, where he once played, to unveil the marker. Bedient's grandson, Hugh Emis, shared his memories of his grandfather at the park, including when he himself played ball.
My grandfather, he used to come up, I used to pitch in Little League. He used to come up and watch behind the fence. It's just like Randy was saying, he was always a modest guy. He had a big straw hat on, and he used to sit out in left field out there on the other side of the fence and come up and watch, you know. That was always a good, you know, especially as you get older, you know, it means more, you know. So.
Numerous family members were present for the unveiling, but Mayor James Jarzinski says the village also has a lot of pride in their connection to Bedient.
This is a very exciting moment in the village of Faulkner history. Hugh Bedient, as was stated by one of the speakers here, Mr. Randy Anderson, he played for a major league team back in the early 1900s. Came back to this area in mid 1914-15, played for a team near Buffalo, and then, you know, he could have went anywhere, so he came back here to the village of Faulkner and the Faulkner surrounding area. His family, his extended family are still here. It means a lot here for the village of Faulkner to recognize this today, to recognize Mr. Bedient. So.
Pride in Bedient led to the hard work by many to make the installation of the marker possible, including Brenda Cavallero, village historian. She described the step-by-step process, beginning with gathering information.
This was quite an involved project that we had, like I said, we had a team of people who really had different ideas and contributed, but the application process is quite extensive. You have to submit primary sources, then they'll tell you if they think that it's a go, and then after that you do even more work to prove, you know, what you're saying is true, and then you wait and see if you're going to get the funding, and when the funding comes, I guess that's the easier part, to order the marker and then get it in place.
Now that the marker has been unveiled, Cavallero hopes it leads the community to stay invested in their history and ask questions, but especially to look towards the future at what is possible.
It maybe inspires some of our youth to really know that they can go that extra mile.
Well, you know, something I was wondering, did either of you guys play baseball?
I wasn't much of a sports guy. I did like the soccer, but I know it was really huge and still is from the Faulkner community. I got to tell you, Hugh Bedient is something that they talk about. It's really cool, in case a lot of people don't know. If you didn't graduate from Faulkner School in 6th grade, they have a project, or yes, 6th grade, where they take you in the community and you learn about the history, and he was one of the guys they talk about. So it's incredible that they're dedicating that field.
Yeah, well, that's so important to know that, you know, it doesn't matter what small town you come from, you know, you don't have to be from some big fancy place. It's all about your hard work and how much you dedicate yourself.
Definitely is. Let us know what you guys think about this and more in the comments down below. You can make it big no matter where you are, Dakota. I think that's the thing and the message, right? We look at Lucy here in Jamestown, Hugh Bedient in Faulkner.
Stephen Carlson,
who's
on the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and I mean, you know, who's the other one I'm thinking of? Jason.
Sirianni. He's the coach
Nick
of
Sirianni. Yeah, he's the coach from Southwestern.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Jay Sean Page, basketball player from JHS. I went to school with him for many years. Wonderful guy, and he actually plays for a basketball team in some other country. I can't remember where he plays, but he recently moved there, and he's like a big deal. So
hey, inspiration for
we've
the
had
kids.
a lot of great people who
A lot of good people
came
here,
from this
yeah.
area.
The message: follow your dreams. That's for sure. All right, guys, thank you. That's going to do it for us today. Of course, news 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We're back tomorrow. See you then.